Hey, it's your girl Zaviana on our first episode of What Would Zay Say?
Peace and love. This is Sai.
Alright, so the meaning of me doing these podcasts is because I'm an up-and-coming journalist. So I'm working on getting my personality out there, letting y'all know who I am, what I'm all about. Because one thing I cannot stand is when people say I'm shy, because I'm really not. I'm just not loud. I mean, you don't always have to be loud to get your point across, right?
I think you are very confident.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and you speak up when necessary.
Okay. Relationships.
Ooh, talk about
I
it.
got a lot to say on that.
I think we all do.
Yeah. The first question I want to ask y'all is, do you feel that black guys fear commitment more than guys of other nationalities?
Okay, so you're asking a black woman who definitely has experienced black men, and from my perspective, I feel like it's important to identify like that fear. So your question being, do you feel like black men fear commitment?
Well, do they fear commitment more than guys of other nationalities? I don't think they do, but I will say I do think they fear commitment with black women. And I say that because the majority of couples that I see nowadays are interracial, consisting of a black guy with either a Latina or Caucasian woman.
Okay, so one thing I think would be dope to incorporate is I'm live right now, and I do have a black man in my live who said that he made the comment, "Y'all annoying." So
Okay.
Oh, he's not here anymore. Okay.
Everybody's annoying though. I mean,
I feel like it's all about, so each experience and each relationship is completely different. And in regards to, I feel like fear definitely is something that a lot of people experience, men, women. We're talking specifically about men. And in regards to other nationalities, I think I've dated like interracially maybe like once or twice, and those relationships didn't really last long.
Well, coming from someone who swings both ways, I'm pretty open-minded.
Ooh, talk about it.
Nationalities and genders. So,
what has been your experience in regards to commitment?
I mean, I don't think relationships are supposed to be as much work as everybody claims, because it's two people who enjoy each other's vibes and company, right? I mean, you just be yourself with whoever you're in a relationship with.
Question: do you feel like there are levels to relationship and commitment and growing with your partner?
Well, I feel like that's where the title comes in. You got to know what you are, like boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, girlfriend, whatever y'all claim yours. Because you got to know what you can and can't do. If you're just dating someone, then you're able to date other people because you're not in a committed relationship.
Okay, so communication and just being within agreement with one another is definitely key. Is that what you're saying?
You said wait, say that again?
Like just being in agreement with one another in regards to what your relationship, like just the structure of your relationship, like the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. And then some people have like open relationships, so it's all a matter of the.
Yeah, those are interesting to me. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
no, those are interesting because what is the point of being with somebody if you're going to be messing around with other people?
Interesting. I guess it depends on just like what works. So workability, compatibility. So some people like love freedom, and I feel like with relationship, with title, with commitment, there's a certain level of restriction to them based on like just what you create that relationship to be, how you create it to be, and what you want it to look like for both people, so that both people ultimately, you want both people to be happy.
Yeah. Okay.
So
so you're happy messing around with other people while you're in a relationship with one person?
Some people like have open relationships. I can't really speak on behalf of that.
Would you ever I mean, sorry to put you on the spot, but would you ever be in an open relationship, or have you ever considered it?
Being in an open relationship, I feel like I want my man to myself when it comes to like having a romantic relationship. Mm-hmm. Socialization, that's like a whole other like just like realm of being. Like you gotta be confident and have faith and trust in your man to know that they respect you, they respect your relationship. If that's something that you guys are agreeing to, like, yo, we're together.
Yeah,
we're
look
partners.
at it as that's your territory, and if somebody else is trespassing, that's disrespectful to me.
What y'all feel about poly relationships?
What are those?
Polygamy. So, like, having more than one partner. We were just talking about that.
I mean, I wouldn't do it personally, but you can do whatever you want. As long as you're not messing with who I'm involved with.
When you enter a relationship and a commitment, do you enter it with the intention of, I want to grow with this person, like, long term. I want to be with this person.
I do, personally, I do. Yes, that's my goal.
Okay.
What do you think is the biggest, or one of the biggest relationship issues these days?
Communication. Woo!
You think people aren't letting each other know how they feel, or?
I feel communication and definitely like just self-love and self-happiness, because I feel like it's important for an individual to be grounded in who they are prior to like just like it's a responsibility. Relationship is responsibility, and so when we enter any relationship and we're sharing ourselves with others and we're allowing for others to share with into our lives, I feel as though it's important in order to maintain just nourishing and having a healthy relationship that like you gotta do that work to make sure that you're happy. And I mean, I understand we all have our strengths and weaknesses, so sometimes we'll have a partner where they're strong in this area and they can be our strength where we are weak, and I feel like that also is really important. But in regards to communication, when you're not on the same page as your partner and you don't understand what triggers your partner, or you don't understand like the work that you can put into just go above and beyond sometimes to make your partner feel more appreciated, or you know what I mean.
I guess that's where the phrase opposites attract come in, because if you have a strong person and a weak person, you balance each other out. Like the weak person can let the strong person know when they're doing too much, and the strong person can let the weak person know you gotta step your game up a little bit.
What if you have two people who have the same weaknesses?
And that's something y'all need to work on together.
How do you feel about therapy?
I'm not against it. I mean, if you gotta speak to somebody, speak to it. I mean, don't hold it in. Everybody needs somebody. Get it out there. I think one of the biggest issues with relationships these days is social media. Especially before Instagram got rid of that activity feed, because people were seeing who their partner was liking their posts and commenting.
I didn't know that. That's real?
You did?
That's why they got rid of it?
Of course.
They got rid of the activity feed because it was intervening relationship.
That makes sense. I don't know if that's the real reason, but that makes sense to me.
Interesting. I could see where that could impact.
And other than the liking each other's posts and commenting, couples are trying to put on a front for social media. How often do you see hashtag relationship goals under couples' pictures when you don't even know their true story?
That's deep. Let's talk about that right there.
Okay.
About that mask, about that flex, about inauthenticity, which is like just not showing things for what they truly are. Like we like to show the perfected view of what something looks like, and not the storm that like things can be. Yeah.
But I also wanted to go back to the original question. The black guy.
Oh yeah, I know. You're getting excited over here. Okay, let's get back to the root.
Okay. I mean, well, why do you think that is? That a lot of black guys are dating outside of their race, specifically with Latinas and Caucasians. It can't be the hair thing because everybody's rocking wigs nowadays. So you know how like people used to say they want their daughters to have good hair, but
there are some people who are very intentional about who they date because they, you know, might want their child to have curly hair or just the way that they want to breed within their family, because maybe black men or black West Indian men have like athletic qualities within their genes, so they date based on like just genetics. So I definitely believe in that.
Okay.
I also believe that when it comes to personality, when it comes to what I was saying earlier in regards to compatibility and workability, that, I mean, based on a person's like upbringing and their conditioning and who they are, like, you know, we have some strong, powerful black queens and black women who we assert ourselves. And I feel like when you have two dominant, like, very confident beings, like a male and a woman, like it all like goes down to like that masculinity and that femininity, and understanding, like, just having that balance, having a healthy balance, understanding your role in a relationship, in a partnership with a woman being with a man. And I don't know, like, black people are strong. We are some strong people. Mm-hmm. Our personalities are just like strong.
Do you feel like the whole Black Lives Matter protest definitely brought out more black couples?
More black power? I definitely feel like it has empowered.
I see it too.
Black people to want to embrace and appreciate and really love who we are, because, you know, I think love is a battle. So I've been on this journey, right, of the healing journey that my man was talking about earlier. And so in healing, you come into relationship with God, you come into relationship with love, and shifting your perception of how you view everything in your life, like understanding your triggers, understanding, well, I don't want to get off topic.
Understanding that settling is not the same as actually being happy.
Let's talk about it. Settling is not the same as being happy. What is settling?
Settling is just going with what you can get as opposed to going to get what you want. Fighting? Yeah, there is fighting involved.
Love is a battle.
If you settle, you can't battle.
Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Let's go. And that's coming from a man's perspective. So that's beautiful to just be able to flow in harmony and synchronicity with beliefs and ideas and perspective, and understanding that love does heal. Love shifts. Mm-hmm. Love creates a whole new reality. Like when you see like war, when you see like people killing people, when you see like violence, police brutality, all this stuff, that's not coming from a space of love. Mm-hmm. That is not coming from a space of love. And look at the impact of that. Look at how that shows up in our world. Look at how that shows up in relationships when there isn't love, when love is not present. People are not happy. The divorce rate is over 60%. I think it's like 70. Don't quote me. I can look it up. But
I mean, now I'm sure it's up with the quarantine, being stuck in the house all day, which is...
It might be lower. It might be lower because people had a moment to like just connect and be one with each other, like, and really reflect and look at like their life for what it has been.
Yeah, some people did that. Some people are like, I can't take it anymore.
How do you feel about what we allow as women in our relationships? So
I feel like we're more sensitive than guys. I mean, I think it's easier to get to a woman's heart than a guy. Do you think people judge you based off your name, like they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you have such an exotic name? I don't mean us specifically. I just mean
in general.
If anybody has a unique name, does that
let's talk about your name. Let's talk about your name and your experiences. Do you feel like...
I don't think I've ever had that issue with relationships, but it has. Like, people have said stuff about my name.
What are some comments that people have said about your name?
I mean, they say it's an unusual name. They ask me, do I have a nickname? Can they call me something else? That's insulting. That's like asking somebody, do you have a mask that you can put on because I can't stand looking at your face?
That is like, that person don't like themselves. They not happy. Anybody who says that, like, go back and see your mother.
And you know what's funny? With having a unique name, you always get other people's names right. Even if it's a name you've never seen before. It's just instincts.
That's interesting because I'm still practicing like people's names because I have a habit of like thinking I'm listening but not really listening. So when people tell me things, I'm like, okay, so wait, what was your name again?
That happens sometimes, especially if it's a name you never heard before. But something that me and my son's father and I discussed while we were thinking of a name for my son was, I was saying we shouldn't have to dumb ourselves down because society is a certain way. If we want to give him a unique name, we could do that. Which we did.
What's your son's name?
My son's name is Zaylin.
Oh, I like that. How do you spell that?
Zaylen.
Okay.
So, I mean, we do have people looking at it and saying it wrong or asking how you say it.
That makes it unique.
I know. I love it. It's unique but simple. So I don't understand why people have trouble with it sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's huge. Like, another thing in regards to just being so like grounded in who you are is like learning how to not allow certain things that people say to you that's huge impact you and knock you off of your like the pedestal that you should put yourself on, because like when you understand your value and you begin to discover who you are and just stand within that, like your knowing of who you are, then you understand that like all of this stuff in society, what this person thinks, how this person feels. I mean, compassion is, don't get me wrong, like we should all have compassion, but when people are trying to tear you down because of their own insecurities and imperfections and fears and doubts, like you really have to just distinguish, like that's what this person is going through. That has nothing to do with me. And I love myself. I love my name. I love my child's name. Like, how do you transform fear in a relationship?
I don't even think fear should be in a relationship. What are you scared of?
Fear is an illusion. There's no such thing as fear.
What are you fearing in a relationship? The only thing I can think of fearing in a relationship is that your partner is going to leave you if you do something you shouldn't be doing.
Fear of someone cheating, for example, right? So you fear your partner is going to cheat on you, but what is the root of that fear of you thinking your partner is going to cheat on you? Is that a lack of trust, a lack of confidence? Like there's so many different like...
I personally think the majority of guys cheat when they're feeling neglected. Like if they're
Guys cheat because they don't love themselves.
Okay.
Coming from a man, guys cheat because they don't love themselves. Like, I make up my mind where I'm like, okay, we're broken up, and I'm gonna start dating other people, where the guy was still like had this idea like, oh, we're still together.
Well, how many times do you have to say, like, do you forgive somebody before you say I'm done?
Ooh, that's a big question, because myself, like, I feel like I'm very forgiving. Like, I forgive, like, endlessly.
And remember, forgiving is not the same as just putting up with it. Because some women stick around because they fear they're going to be alone or single.
Oh my gosh, you talking to me right now?
Well, that's what really goes on. Like, that goes along with the settling thing, like what I was saying earlier. Because people will stay with somebody and it'll look like they forgive them, but really they're just afraid to leave.
They don't address the issue, they just stay with them.
Then it gets worse. It gets built up. So then what does it finally take for you to leave and say I'm done, if you ever do leave?
Have you ever experienced that?
Honesty.
Being honest about why you have to leave. If you're fine with yourself about why you're leaving, then you won't be hurt when you leave.
That is true, because you, at the end of the day, like, you're making a choice based off what aligns with your happiness. If you're staying in a relationship, you're not happy, but you're staying because you're afraid of being alone. It's just like, I think what you're talking about is like, when do you acknowledge that and build up that like strength to just like be authentic finally in your relationship and say enough is enough, like I have to leave this.
The majority of people go after what they grew up with. Like, for instance, women who never had a close relationship with their father, you think they go after a guy who to put in place of their father? Does that ever happen with guys? Like, do y'all look for a woman who replaces your I never thought about that from a guy's perspective. Like, if they go after women who remind them of their mother or put in place of them. I don't really hear of many mothers that aren't around on purpose.
My best friend doesn't have a mom. Well, he has a mom. He didn't have. It affects a whole lot of shit.
Does he have rough?
Nurturing love from a mom.
Yes.
Is a lot more important than people think.
So he has rough relationships with women?
Not necessarily rough. You misunderstand what love is if you've never had it.
That's why with my son, like, I'm trying to get him started now with learning love. Like, I'll take my son and we look in the mirror and I'll go like, who's that handsome prince in the mirror? Who is that? Like, that's you. That's Zaylin. So that's the start, because he's only 2 years old. So
He can love himself and he can love a woman.
We have Savannah on the line right now.
You guys talked about a lot of things that I tend to question my damn self. So a lot of what you said was confirmation. Like, okay, I'm not crazy. But, I mean, I'm just in a space of, like, the new age, non-committal, like, is this a relationship or is this a situationship or an entanglement?
how do you feel about women proposing to guys?
Ooh. What was that a question for?
Society, well, anybody.
Oh, well, I think that it takes a dominant woman to be able to do something like that, because a lot of the women get stuck in the mentality of, oh, this is a man's role and a man is supposed to do this and that. But personally, because I am more dominant, I don't see an issue with it.
I don't see an issue with it either.
I don't know, like, it's situational, honestly, because if you're just pressing the issue and you're proposing because you want to get married or whatever, and the person's not on the same page, then there's something wrong with that. But if you guys are both in a space where it's about that time, you just want to, I don't know, I don't see an issue with it.
I don't either. What you say, JC?
I think it's dangerous.
Ooh.
Dangerous. That's an interesting
Why is it
word.
dangerous?
Being that men and women think completely differently, women are emotional. Fair?
I feel like men can be emotional.
As a man asking a woman and her saying no might affect a woman a little bit differently. If you're really in love with somebody and you ask them to marry you and they say no, that's going to shatter a woman.
It
More than I
could.
think it would have meant. I think that's why the roles are set up that way.
Yes, through society. And I was actually having this conversation earlier about how a lot of times the conversation of marriage comes up before that, will you marry me? Not all the time, but there are times where it comes up prior to. So in that, you know, the woman is given hints and she's letting him know, like, look, I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. And sometimes it's like a mutual type of agreement and understanding, and then just like that actual experience of the proposal becomes like, it's just like the icing on the cake.
Marriage is bullshit.
What is marriage exactly?
It's that marriage
I mean,
is bullshit.
See,
Well,
like,
it depends what you believe in. But,
yeah, I have heard married couples say they don't really see the difference between being married.
Sign a paper and you're married. It's paper. Who gives a fuck about paper? Are you being real to
It's more of the ring.
Ooh.
Women like to flash the ring.
It means nothing if neither of the people love themselves or each other.
Yeah, it's just a,
And that's why there is divorce.
yeah.
Yeah.
If marriage was real, then there shouldn't be a
But everybody doesn't get married for love. You know, they're
That's the thing.
green cards.
Yeah. Some people do it with like, yes, it is. Marriage is a business. No, it's a commitment. It's commitment.
Society with, you know, everybody trying to impress other people. But still, what do you get out of that?
Out of what, marriage?
Out of impressing other people with your relationship.
Oh, okay. So like the flex in the front for
Get a
the
car without an engine.
a car.
It's a drug. Literally, it's a drug.
Ooh.
It makes you feel good for the moment, but it's gonna go away.
It's a good way to describe it.
I like that.
I like that.
It's a drug, an addiction.
That was deep. I like that. I've had people ask me, since, you know, I told y'all I swing both ways. I've had people ask me, like, the guys would say, like, damn, who hurt you? Or, like, who did that to us? Like, thinking,
Let me get my charger out my bag.
You can get your charger.
I can?
Yeah.
I'll get up?
You don't have to
All right.
ask.
I'm getting up.
I'm saying, like, you know, guys will joke around and be like, well, damn, who did that to us? Or who hurt you? Do you think, I don't want to say lesbians because, you know, some women are bi. Do you think that they're with another woman because guys hurt them? Or do you think they're just really not attracted to men?
Have you dated women?
I've been into women. I've never had a serious relationship with a woman.
Okay. And
Yes.
what makes you attracted to women?
She understands.
Well,
Oh, he said understand.
women who look like women, that's, you know, that's, that's attractive. I like to see women having a good time. Like, I like women with confidence who don't have to go out and drink a bunch of alcohol before they go out on the dance floor, or what else I mean, who don't always have to do their hair and makeup when they leave the house.
That was me today.
If a woman knows who she is, does she really need makeup? If a woman loves herself, she wouldn't need makeup.
Depends on where you're going. I mean,
I mean,
because I've heard of some women saying they never wore makeup except for their wedding day.
Makeup is not a need. Makeup is something that you like, you want. I love this. Like the women and the male, and just like seeing how there are great men out there who uplift and empower our women, who believe in just like the strength of a woman in a man's life, and just in general, you know what I mean? Like,
So what's your biggest turn off in guys?
My biggest turn off, you know, it's so interesting because I realize that I begin to run away when
It doesn't have to be something that they, like something that they do that, what's the word?
insecure.
Insecurities? I'm trying to think of it like me.
insecurity.
You don't like when guys are insecure?
I think it has.
But how often can you tell if a guy is insecure? They're not like with women, like he's thinking women put on makeup.
Yo, let me
They're
tell you
insecure.
something.
Like, I mean, there are guys that wear makeup.
Let me tell you something. This is all love here. And I don't know if this is just like, if it's care, love, or insecurity. All right, so I'll make a post, right? Say I make a post and my ex, say I make a post and I share like another guy on my post. And my ex messages me and he's like, are you effing serious? Like, why are you posting this person? Da da da. Like,
See, that's not, but you don't have to look at that as insecure. That could be, maybe he just misses you.
he misses me. What does insecurity look like?
He's insecure because he doesn't. You're not secure, so he's insecure because he doesn't have it.
He's insecure because he doesn't have it.
I mean, if he broke up with you, then he can't say anything. But
Do you do affirmations with your son to teach him like how to like just speak life into his own, like who he is?
we're starting to do that now,
Yeah.
especially since he's starting to talk now. So,
Oh, look at that! Yo, we gotta have a whole mom episode.
but you know,
Feel me?
as a mother, like let's what do you do?
As a mother?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's actually something that I'm exploring more now because it's interesting. My parenting journey, I've always just like with the example that was in my life for parenting, my grandma raised me, you know what I mean? And so I didn't really have that like she was my security. I didn't have like that reinforcement or confirmation of like somebody speaking life into me.
I mean, and you have a daughter. Like, I heard you got to be more emotionally stable to raise a daughter.
I was tough on my daughter, like, because my father was tough on me. Like, my father was tough on all of us. He's a West Indian, Jamaican man. Really, like, he's an entrepreneur, like, go out, get it, like, started from the bottom, now I'm here type of person. And so he always he didn't come from a space of compassion and, you know, showing his emotional, vulnerable side. He was really strong. So I embodied that, and me being a single mother, I was, you know, working, and when I wasn't working, my daughter was at daycare, and then when we were together, it was kind of like I wasn't really connecting with her in a way that I could have been emotionally. And I see the impact of that now, like that she's 7, where she's opening up more now because, you know, we're both on this like enlightenment, opening up, transformational journey. But, you know, she's herself like very guarded and strong, and you know, she'll react and out of the space of like just like feeling like she has to defend herself. So she reciprocates how I've nurtured her in a very strong way.
I'm about to teach you something. You see how you're looking around and you can picture her in your head? You see that, right? That's love. That's love. When you can picture it in your head, that's love.
When
Yeah, I
you
like
can
when
picture-
people notice small things like
Yeah,
that.
you
Like,
do.
I love
You
that.
do.
That's something that's attractive to me too.
Yeah, I'm very passionate
Like-
about my motherhood journey. Go ahead, girl. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I like that when you notice small things. That's something in relationships that I like. Like, for example, like somebody would notice that I always have to look in the mirror before I walk out the door, or that I always put my shirt on before my pants for some reason. Like, something little stuff like that.
Ooh, girl, talk about it. That's beautiful. That's being. First of all, it takes a certain level of presence, like just being present with your partner.
Because I have had somebody who I was involved with notice that I don't wear jeans. And
Oh, shoot.
So that was attractive to me.
Talk about how you co-parent, or like how you would like to co-parent. Like, what would a healthy co-parent relationship look like for you with raising your son?
Parents who get along, especially in front of their child. I mean, both of them, like we were saying, playing your role. Like the father, I guess, potty training the son, as opposed to the mother, who might not be able to show the son what to do. The mother, showing her son, letting her son know what women like and what they don't like, what's okay, what's not okay, things like that.
So,
I mean, but I don't know, with co-parenting, I feel like if y'all can co-parent and get along with no problem, then why not be in a relationship and raise a child together?
and what if you don't want to be with them? What if you can get along with? I feel like you can get along with anybody by like.
It's not about getting along, it's about respecting whatever's there.
Respecting, being in agreement, you know, yeah, definitely, like the distinction of choosing to be with the parent of your child as opposed to deciding that this is not it for you. Like, I don't know. I feel like you.
I mean, if y'all really, sorry to cut you off, but I mean, if y'all really love each other, then
Or more than loving each other, loving the child.
yeah,
yeah. But I'm saying, but I've seen couples stay together for the child, although the relationship was horrible.
So they weren't happy, but they stayed together for the child.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense to me, because if your child is witnessing abuse and all of the stuff they shouldn't be seeing, then how is that good for the child?
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a lot of women's excuses to not leave the guy.
That
They're
has an
insecure.
impact. That has an impact because they're being programmed. Children are programmed from like when they first come out the womb, so they're seeing everything. They're seeing how the parents are interacting, how, oh, daddy ignored mommy. Oh, mommy was yelling at daddy. And, you know, they're just taking that all in, and then that's how they begin to like embody how they show up within their communication, within their relationships. And it's just so much that like kids are influenced by, and you really have to like, I mean, there's only so much that you can be in control of.
Adults are influenced just as much as kids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
More than you think.
Yes. Everybody's influenced. I'm under the influence of Essentia right now. What's up?
Nice. All right, what we looking like on time? We gotta wrap it up. All right, we had some nice topics tonight. It went well. Like we said, it's gonna get better.
I'm excited. We're definitely talking about some real amazing, just like nourishing
I
conversation.
think it's definitely stuff a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
Go ahead,
So-
go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's good. So, like I said, continue to follow What Would Zay Say, and you want to let them know where they can find you.
Oh, my name is Sai. Thank you for joining us. My Instagram is Harmonize and Heal with Sai, SIAH. And yeah.